Oh, the queen was getting all her beauty rest, and I decided to get on. The chief of police in California City, California, has given another interview, and I kind of wanted to touch on that. And 1 month, the 21st of this month, which was yesterday, that marked a report being filed in California City by the adoptive parents of the young boys, the brothers missing. Hi, Diamond Dozen. How you doing? How are you doing? I feel like my mouth is moving weird to the screen. It's weird. Let me turn my volume up a little bit. Okay, thanks. Thanks for joining me. Um, some weird stuff is going on. I want to do two lives. Hello, London. How you doing? Hi, Sean. How you doing? Hey, Queen. So good to see you, Queen. Crime. Queen, you keep changing that name. What am I do with you? Okay, I'm gonna swivel around just a little bit. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining me. That was an interesting interview. The second interview was a very in-depth interview by that young man. He's a cutie pie too, but that was a very interesting interview. Touched on a lot of points. I want to try to touch on some of them. I didn't write them down because I'm a little sleepy. As you can see, I'm a little tired still. One thing that we've learned is that there have been a lot of rumors in the past month pertaining to these young boys going missing. There was a lot of rumors about the floorboards, which I touched on that the other day. They've searched that house thoroughly, inside and out. The scent is only hit on the inside of the house. Luminol was used. Luminol was used in the van. Nothing's come back on that. They didn't ask the parents to leave California. That point was made. They gave back their telephone. Hello, Nitra. How you doing? They gave back their telephones, but they did keep some other. Thank you. Thank you. I'm a little plain today because I got to do my hair later when I get off of here because Queen is in dire need of a relaxer. But and no super chats, please. No super chats in the lives anymore. If you want to donate to the channel, you're welcome to donate at Cash App, $ Big Angie 129, but no super chats, because YouTube takes a portion of that said money, and I don't want you all donating any money that they're going to be chipping out of. So back to what I was saying. They have been free to roam, and as I told you guys, I couldn't see them wanting them to be in protective custody because they don't know anything, the police, very much about these people. So it would be crazy to have them in protective custody. Once again, I don't know anything about an ankle monitor. You all have been mentioning that. As I state, you have to bring the Queen receipts because I've had enough of the he said, she said for a month. And as you see in this interview, the guy never mentioned it, nor did the other girl mention it. Thanks, Nitra. Both interviews, nobody mentioned anything about an ankle monitor. The grandmother's the last one to have seen him possibly, but he did not reveal the date and the time. Hi, Joanna, how you doing? He didn't reveal what she said. So I had already told you all that weeks ago that I knew the grandmother knew something. Whichever grandmother they're speaking of, his mother, her mother, either way, one of them knows something. But the chief did not reveal what date was given for, so like he said, it won't start no he said, she said. And then another person or persons have given information to when they last saw the child. He would not reveal who that person is, nor the date that they last saw the children. So you see, everyone, we've been questioning who saw what, who knew what. Somebody has seen those kids at one time. It's just a matter of when the police is going to reveal to the public the last day that those children were seen. And that's going to be pivotal in setting up a timeline of if the children ever made it to Cal City or they never made it. Bakersfield is on the case investigating because possibly this is more of a Bakersfield jurisdiction case. Now, we've been going back and forth about who saw the kids in Cal City. Well, he mentioned in this interview that the neighbors have seen some children or knew of children at that address in Cal City, but they can't say verbatim which child was which child. So that makes sense. If you're not seeing the kids, you don't know them. you're not hanging with them, your kids aren't playing with their kids, you're not going to know which child is which child you've been seeing. But as it has been stated, there's a lot of video surveillance they have to go through, and I'm sure it's a lot because, as I told you all, uh, you leave a blueprint wherever you go once you step outside of your home. So if you're going to, the supermarket, Lowe's, church, wherever you go, you've been seen somewhere, and it's just a matter of somebody bringing the footage forward and or you going to those said places to ask. Um, Most of the people in the neighborhood have been interviewed. They have interviewed people related to them. They've talked to people related to them. Um, what else I want to touch on? It's so much. I was trying to remember. Um, Somebody's going to tell. I think what's going to break the case is whatever the grandmother told. Yeah, you got to watch it. It's whatever the grandmother told, because whichever the grandmother told the last time she saw the kids is going to be pivotal. Because if she and Trezell and that girl didn't get together to set up a last timeline, it's going to be a hot mess. And as they said, they've lawyered up. I've heard they've lawyered up. But as I told you all, that's to be expected. Now, that wasn't what the chief said, but that's just what I've been hearing from other people, that allegedly they've lowered up. I would expect that from people who are guilty. He did not answer the question about the polygraph test, and that to me shows a sign that they 9 times out of 10 declined the polygraph, because how easy would it be to say, excuse me, sir, chief, did they or did they not take the polygraph? Did you offer the polygraph? They say, yes, we offered. Did they take it? He says he declines the comment. So that leads me to believe you offered it and they declined, which to me shows guilt. Because if I don't have anything to hide pertaining to my children, I won't have any problems with taking a polygraph. Nor do I need an attorney. For some of you who think they should have an attorney, why would you need an attorney? You would only need an attorney is if they've come out directly and accused you of harming your children. Then I could see you saying, well, we're innocent. We didn't harm our kids. Well, I guess we best to go get us an attorney. Okay. Thanks, everybody in here. Hey, Pretty K, California Girl Queen, Carol, Jennifer, thank you. This is just a baffling tale. Just a baffling tale to me. It's a very sad tale to me because these are 2 children who didn't choose to come here. They didn't choose these people, the mother that they had, nor did they choose to go stay with these people. And no matter what you believe, it's a sad case all around, because it's really just a lot of people pointing fingers at who they think is wrong, who they think is right. A lot of snide remarks made on social media and in the comment boxes. Hi, Cherie, baby, how you doing? Just a lot of shenanigans going on pertaining to these kids. But in the end, as I've told you all, you are not a child. You're an adult. And you're not in the shoes of these babies. Maybe at one time you had a terrible life. You had horrible parents. You had to go in foster care, or you got adopted out by some not so nice people. But you're now grown and you can have a better life because you have the free will to roam and do good for yourself. Unlike a child, he or she doesn't have that option. They're stuck. And these kids were stuck. And my heart breaks for them because I've been a child before. You understand what I'm saying? So I can empathize. Although I'm now an adult, but I can empathize. I feel bad for these kids. Whether they're alive or they're deceased, I feel bad for them. Because who would want to have this going on in their life? Whether they're alive or deceased. This is just a tragic situation. I'm glad the chief decided to speak up again. Right, no chance, Queen. I'm glad the chief spoke again. I don't know, how you all feel about what he said in this second interview with the young man, but the young man was more detailed, I think, than the young lady. He really went down in the belly of the beast. He asked all the little questions. I'm sure there were some other questions out there that people wanted to know, but I was watching It's a Crime just now. barely holding on. I was like, I'm going to go to sleep again. But I said, now let me get up and watch everything so I can bring you all a video because I want to keep up my timeline pertaining to this case. One thing she mentioned in her show on It's a Crime that we never even thought of. That's why I said there's so many variables to this story. All the 50,000 questions you can ask pertaining to these people and these kids. She said, I wonder why no one mentioned anything about a car seat. That is a very good question, Miss It's a Crime, because when you have smaller children, they have to be in a car seat or a booster seat. Now, 3 years old would be in a booster seat, perhaps, in a car. Ah, I never thought about a car seat. So that is an interesting question, Miss It's a Crime. Shout out to you for that. Shout out to you, homegirl, for that, because that's one thing I never thought about. And I'm usually pretty analytical in cases to chop everything up. But that's a damn good question because a 3-year-old has to be in a booster seat in most states. I don't know what the law is in California. So if the 3-year-old is not riding in a seatbelt, he or she is riding in a booster seat. So I wonder if there was any booster seats in the van. Very interesting question. Somebody knows where these children are. Somebody has last seen these children at some point. And like I said, that's going to be the pivotal point pertaining to this case. Because if the timeline that the grandmother gave does not match up with Trezell and Jacqueline's timeline, you're screwed. Because did you tell your mom-in-law, what to say when the police come around to ask questions? Because if you didn't, you don't know what she told them. And I'm sure they've asked her, well, what did you tell them? When did you tell them you last saw them? And now imagine you saying to your mommy-in-law, tell them you last saw them on this date. So now you're admitting to guilt. See, that's the joy of being a fly on the wall. Because if we could be a fly on the wall, there's a lot of things I'm sure we would learn about this case. Oh, 3 to 4? Okay. Trezell, what did you say to your mommy-in-law or mommy about the timeline of the children? Because I'm sure you've talked to her or them and asked. You either told them what to say or you've conferred with them after the fact. And as I keep telling you all, that's what's going to be telling. What's also is telling is the other parties that the chief, police officers, with detectives have talked to somebody else who they're not naming in this said interview. And what do they have to say when they last saw the children? And I think it's also still baffling, no matter if you believe the children ever made it to Cal City or not, the fact that the children, that people are now saying, yeah, we knew there were kids there, but we can't verify who was who. And then you still got that factor of the children never being seen coming outside to play. So it's still messed up either way. Oh yeah, I think I saw some kids there, but I really don't know them. I didn't get friendly with their parents. Oh, but then I never saw the kids come outside either. This is nonsense to me. Yes, prayers, most definitely. Trying to think what else that was mentioned in that interview. It was like 30 minutes long. It was so much. He asked a lot of questions. The searches, I think that's bothering people still. On Duty Ron's channel, he had a panel on, and they mentioned that they find it odd, Mr. Bill, Mr. Charles had mentioned, nobody helping to search for their own children after the fact. Now, you say the police told you to stay inside day one, but we're now 4 weeks in. So there have been other searches pertaining to your children, Mr. and Mrs. West. Why would you not participate in those searches of your kids? See, that's suspicious. See, that's why I said everything about them has been suspicious from day one. Hard to do. How you doing? You uploaded old photos to the police. You now have your I'm nosy. I know who everyone is in my neighborhood. Okay. How you doing? You uploaded old photos to the police, which is suspicious because most people will not. Most people love selfies. I don't care if they're 50 or they're 60. They like taking pictures of anything, posting it to Facebook, Instagram. So the fact that you gave old pictures, you didn't do a search that same day, you didn't do a search thereafter, you've now lawyered up, you're back living in that old apartment complex. Please, somebody help me understand that. Some people are saying they're seeing them. Some guy allegedly that Mr. AV interviewed, if I'm quoting correctly, has seen them. I don't understand any of this that's going on. Why would you move back there to that apartment complex? And that's another thing that's also baffling. If they had family there, we're now learning that allegedly the girl in the AV video was the sister, the one that was carrying in the water. You remember she had her head down, didn't want to talk? And as he said, she was playing dumb. Yeah, she was playing dumb. Right, Love Shack. Yes, that's how it's looking. These people had their family members. And that's what's baffling to me now. So the sister stays there. Jacqueline's sister allegedly lives there. Your mama or somebody else's mama lives there. This is just, okay, you said I read Jacqueline had 2 units. I don't know. Look, I can't specify and sign off on anything because so many things have been said about this couple, and some of those things have not been accurate, so I can't say. But I think it's interesting. Well, Pretty Kate, you're not going to upload anything that you don't have. That's why I told you all, they already signed the guilty plea when they never gave new photos of their children. You already let us know you never took pictures of your kids. You don't have your kids. See, that's an old saying. Can't give what you don't have. So you don't got your kids, you can't produce any pictures. You don't love your kids, you're not going to take pictures of them. Do you understand what I'm saying? Kind of like people who are on date sites. Not date sites, but like Facebook, for instance. Let's really go there. You see people on Facebook who have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, wife, or husband, but yet you never see pictures of them. And you say to yourself, well, I thought he was married. I thought she was married. Yes, hearts, but you won't. Well, why don't they have any pictures up of their boyfriend or their girlfriend? Because they don't want them up there. They don't want them up there. Right. And also that was mentioned too about abuse. Why would they take all the kids out of the house? That was a very good question. He said that is a CPS decision. So obviously the CPS found a reason to take all children out of the home. They are all in foster care. He said that out of his own mouth, so you all cannot keep going around making up wild stories too about that. Where you think they at, this and that. They are not with mama, daddy, papa, nobody. They are in foster care. And don't you find that interesting that all this hoarding in kids for foster money, in my opinion, you see how the tables turn? You can't tell me God wasn't at work in this situation. He said, you want to use these kids for money? You want to keep bringing these kids in for money? Then I'm going to make sure you don't have your kids. Yes, my Ferris wheel, yes. I'm going to make sure your kids are out your custody. And now your kids are in the same system that you were abusing and milking CPS for money for these kids. So you see, God knew all along how he wanted this to turn out. He knew that those 2 boys would have a short journey in life. He knew those babies would have a short journey. He also knew that Jacqueline and Trezell were not going to get a free pass in whatever they did with those children. And he made sure that he let their number be up when he sent CPS in there to get their kids and put them in the same dog-ass system that everybody's complaining about. moaning about. Well, guess what? Your babies are now in CPS custody. And another thing that was mentioned that was odd, we all have been thinking that all 4 kids were adopted, except for their 2 biological kids. Well, the chief mentions 2 are still in foster care. They're not adopted. Now shut your mouth. I don't know what to say about that. So I can't say the chief is lying because he should know by now. So all this time we thought they had 4 adopted children. Well, the chief said today, 2 are biological and 2 are in foster care. So I had already said that to you all a week ago. Who's the hell to say they weren't going to knock off them 2 and get them gone somewhere? Well, Queen, I couldn't say what they were. Everybody was spreading rumors that that all 4 kids were adopted. So I don't know. It's a lot that we don't understand. Which of that is true? I want to know where the home visits were for the foster Corona Bologna home visits should still be happening. Well, Love Shack, I don't know anything. That's why I keep trying to tell you all, you're not going to know anything because these people are not going to verify anything. So you're not going to know. You just got people on social media talking. That's why the chief has said it. Duty Ron has said it. You can't keep listening to all these stories about these parents because you're not hearing it from them. So you're not going to know unless somebody's very close to them wants to start speaking the spoken word about these 2 and how they lived, how they met, who actually is in their house, who's actually in their custody, who they actually adopted. And CPS is not talking. So you don't know. Well, we will see if the system will be held to account. Well, Heather, I don't know. That's why I said the rumors were saying that they only had 2 biological. If I ain't mistaken, I believe the brother said that, the one from Washington, D.C., the one who was uploading material to the Medium site. I believe in his statements, he was alluding to the fact that the 4 kids were adopted. Okay, so history says it's 4 adopted kids in the Bakersfield newspaper. Right, so that's what I'm saying. That's why we thought that, because that's what was said. So now the chief is saying different. The chief is now saying only 2 are foster that's left. 2 are biological, 2 foster. I don't know. I think in the end, it's probably not going to matter to argue over which is which because it's not going to even matter now. They're not in their care. They're now in that same system everybody is disgusted with. So you see how the tables turned. They used the system. Now their kids are in the system. God don't like ugly. And it's sad for those kids, but then it's not sad for them because let's be truthful. If those demons killed those babies and or sold the children, whichever, it doesn't really matter. The point is, you weren't fit to have kids because the fact that you would think so little of these children and adopt them, foster them, and kill them, sell them, whichsoever, you're heinous. So you're not fit to have your own biological children. And that's just how I look at that. But that's the sad thing. Cherie, how you doing? But I was going to make this a short live. I didn't want to stay on here long because I wanted to bring you all another story. And I don't want my stories to intertwine in the chat because if people come in, they won't know what I'm talking about and it'll throw them off. But I have another riveting story I want to bring. And I don't want this live to go long because I want to bring another story before I go back to bed. And I'm going to do 2 lives this morning. So if you're willing to stay up and bear with the queen, I'm going to bring you another whack story that I promised I would bring, another true crime story. And I want to hurry up and get it out there so you all can start, doing your little digging because I know how you all are. Oh, I hearts do. Look, it's a case that's not going nowhere. It's a case that's not going. Whoa. I mean, I can't talk about this story every day, because naturally there are other stories out here to talk about, because I have another foster care story also. Hell, I might end up doing 3 lives back to back because, like I said, I don't want my stories to intertwine. But I found another story that popped up on my phone yesterday that's another foster care story. And I'm telling you, it's worse this one. And I don't know what the hell is going on, but this is the first of the year. And I've now discovered 3 foster care stories in 4 weeks into the new year. And this third one is a bad one. Oh, see you soon then. You said still here just getting ready for bed. Okay, so okay. Yeah, don't super chat me. Send it to my Cash App, Queen. Cash App Big Angie 129. No Cash Apps, you guys. I mean, no super chats. I'm sorry. No super chats while I'm live, because YouTube takes a portion of that money, and I don't want you all wasting your money like that. But if you want to donate to the channel, Cash App me at $Big Angie 129. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, this third story is not a good story. I was pissed off when I saw. Okay, I'll get it when I come off the live, baby. This story pissed me off yesterday when I saw this ugly bat. When I saw her mugshot, I'm serious, I could just scream. Why? Why y'all killing these babies? And I don't know the gist of this story because it sounds off. It sounds off too, because when I look at the mugshot of both people who've been arrested, they're young. And I'm trying to figure out, how are they foster parents? It's confusing. I don't know if they lived in the house that was the foster home of the little girl, but they beat that baby. Do y'all hear me? I'm going to bring y'all that story. I'm going to bring you that story too. I don't understand what's going on out here with these people killing these kids. That's okay, Brenda. That's okay. I'm up late. So something's going on, and I think they're going to have to start tightening the ranks on people with kids. But like I said, at some point, children are going to slip through the cracks with horrible people. Whether it's their own parent, or it's an adoptive parent, or it's a foster parent. And all you can do is hope that somebody who sees something will say, well, I've been seeing something that don't look right. I don't like the way the children are looking. I don't like the way the children sound. So I'm going to call the authorities, or I'm going to call, Department of Human Services. I'm going to call. I know a lot of people don't like to get involved, but that is the reason why you have these cases now of missing children, battered children, because people are afraid to call. Are you talking about Victoria Rose? I just read her story. Yeah, Nicolette, yes. That's what I'm talking about. This is just really, really insane. All this nonsense. They say that all this corona shutdown has caused so much damage. We'll be seeing it for years to come. Well, my thing is, nobody wants to be stuck in a house, but I'm not getting ready to start going out here hurting people, shooting people, killing people, storming the Capitol gate, beating up babies because I can't go nowhere. I mean, if I can get mad, I can just get mad inside my house. I'm not going to go out my house and catch a charge because things aren't going my way, And I understand it's probably a job sitting in your house all day with your kids. If your kids aren't going to school or daycare, you're seeing them all day, 24 hours a day. You're starting to get a little restless seeing your children. But you had the children, so that's life. Nobody was expecting to have COVID. Nobody was expecting to be sitting in the house all day looking at people, whether you're unemployed or you got to be at home with your kids. How you doing, Kimberly? So you just going to have to deal with it. Nitra, I know. That's my point. You had the kids. And if you got a house full of people, you need to go outside and get you some fresh air. Then you go outside and get you some fresh air. Go do what you got to do. Yeah, it is sad. It's very sad. But I'm here listening to you. Bring it, Queen. My insomnia is kicking my butt. Life with mercy. Look, I could barely get up. I was on the couch listening to It's a Crime, and I said, get your butt up, because I don't want to wait too long to get these stories out. When you decide to have children, you are supposed to raise them. Yeah, well, Nitra, that's the thing about having kids is that you're not going to know if you're fit until you actually get the children. And I think a lot of people realize that once they get them, things aren't working out the best. But I always say still make the right decision if you realize you can't. Just make the necessary steps for your own sanity and for the safety of your kids. It doesn't cost you anything to make provisions to say, well, I can't do this. But fostering these kids, using them, abusing them, and I'm really wondering what CPS thought. I'd like to see their report on what made them decide to take all the children out of the house. I'm telling you. Because like I told you all, you don't know who could have been calling those people beforehand about this couple. You don't know if they've been reaching out to them to do home visits. If doctors have been calling to say the children haven't been in, or they've noticed some things in doctor's visits. See, you don't know. We will never know. Okay. Good night, Sean. But I thank you all for joining me. I got 54 in the room, 28 thumbs up. Thank you so much. Thank you for those listening, tuning in this early morning. A lot's going on in this country, a lot of craziness. But I'm glad he spoke. I guess he didn't give us all the answers we wanted, because naturally he can't tell us everything. But I know they have a lot of evidence to go through. I don't know which to bringing forth a charge against these two. But I don't think it's going to be a cold case. I don't want to focus on that. Even though it's a month in, I don't want to focus on that. I don't want to think negative about these kids. I'm praying that something will come forward to get us a resolution to, how you doing, Just Bless? Get us a resolution to where the children are and or the culprits behind. And he also asked that about a suspect. Is it one or plural? Chief said no comment. He had a lot of no comments. No comment on the lie detector. No comment on the if they're suspects. What else? No comment on what the mother had to say the last time she saw the kids. There was a lot of no comments. I said, dang. If I didn't know better, I would think the chief was on trial. I was like, dang, he can't say nothing about these kids. This is bad. But perhaps Bakersfield is the last place they were. But as somebody in my comment box just said, how you know that Trezell and Jacqueline ain't took them kids somewhere else and dumped them off? And that's a very good point. You looking in Bakersfield now for your investigation. But how do you know those kids might be in Nevada? Are you woke? Oregon. Oh, Queen ain't been on the West Coast, but I know them states over there. And I know Oregon sits above California. Washington sits above Oregon. I tell y'all to stay woke. We don't know where those kids are. We don't know. If they killed those kids, they didn't have to dump them in Bakersfield or Cal City. They could have taken them anywhere. Right. He got a van. He could have loaded them kids up in a trunk or anything, a cooler, stuffed them in there and made it look like they was taking a day trip and went somewhere camping and dumped those kids off God knows where. I'm telling you, these people are rotten out here. Well, that's what I'm saying. Because in your mind, you're thinking, first you're thinking Cal City when it first started. Then now the investigation looks like it's taking you to Bakersfield. But you don't have no guarantee that's where the children are. The children could be anywhere. Because you have other states that neighbor California. You got a big old ocean. You got the desert. You got Nevada that sits next door. You got Oregon that sits at the top. You got the top of California, the mountains, Northern California. They could be anywhere. So long as you have a car, you can dump a body anywhere. You all know this. As I told you, a child's body is easier to dump than a grown-up's body. Of course, grown-ups get dumped all the time. Well, is it Selena? We already been about figured that out. The children have been gone some time. I honestly believe that. Due to the fact, as I stated, that she uploaded old photos to the cops. Well, and that was mentioned on It's a Crime Too, Queen, that it could be 20 years from now that they'll find something. Now, I'm praying that we don't go 20, 30 years wondering where the hell these kids are and who got rid of them. Because that would be a travesty. To be sitting around here, I'd be full gray 20 years from now. And just knowing those kids are been out there somewhere, don't know where they are, and these people are behind their murder, and they're walking around probably producing more babies, probably trying to still get some more money from the state for some new babies. Oh, God, no. Well, I'm not going to think like that. I'm not going to think negative. I'm not going to think negative, because that's not going to help me. If I start dwelling on negativity pertaining to these kids, I want these kids found, and I want the suspects to be brought to justice, and I want anybody who aided them to also go down as well. Well, they have free time because they didn't work nowhere. Miss Latham, they need to be locked up. HD videos, okay. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Because I know in the court of public opinion, most of us think they are guilty, that they've done something to the children. I just want to end to it. Pretty K says they've been gone since June. Everybody got their months that they think the children been gone. Somebody yesterday or the day before said April. Somebody the day before yesterday said they thought they were gone since April. Some of you think September. Some of you think December. Some of you, I'm taking it all the way at least 9 months. I'm going to go that far. Even if it's not, I'm just going to go far back. How you doing, Lakita? 835. How you doing? Of course, they did lose 2. Right, and that's not normal to lose 2 children at one time. You just never heard of that. I mean, even if you got 5 kids in the swimming pool, you don't hear of 5 kids drowning, 2 kids drowning. You take a trip, you don't hear of 5 kids falling off a cliff, looking over the overview. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because it's just rare. I want to see her gallery on their birthday. On whose birthday? Whose birthday, honey? The children's birthday? Should be interesting. Should be very interesting. This is just a sick case. I'm sure that chief was like, man, he is drilling me with these questions. That chief was glad to get out of there like, Lord have mercy. But he thanked them for being, objective, because the guy was like, we have to be careful how we spin the news, blah, blah, blah. And the chief thanked them, which is true, because a lot of people don't like the news. They like to complain that the news pick and choose how to word a story, this and that, a narrative or whatever. But, of all the photos. Okay. Well, and that's the thing. Too bad the chief can't talk. Well, as I said to all of you all, you're not going to see no pictures because they don't have the children. They haven't had the children. So you're not going to see holiday photos, everyday photos. How you doing, Clarissa? How you doing? You're not going to see anything because the children haven't been there in their custody. It's no telling where those kids been. How long they been gone. I think they've been gone a long time. Alicia, I have no idea, honey. But let me tell you something. And I want y'all to think about this for a minute. Since you just brought that up about the telephones. Did it ever occur to you all that they have put a tracking device on the telephones that they gave back, hoping they keep the same phones on? Stay woke. They have their telephones back. So who's to say they kept the same carrier, and here goes the police talking to the carrier to say, we need to keep an eye on these two telephone numbers right here. So who's to say right now FBI is not watching phone dialogue between these two demons, because they do have their telephones back. And not one single toy or anything. Well, they just moved there, so I saw one little ball back there. Now, I did see a ball in one of the videos. But as I told you all, they moved from apartment, so they wouldn't have had a lot of stuff from an apartment because, a house is bigger than an apartment. So they didn't have room for, AVs and bicycles and tricycles. And maybe they didn't want to spend no money on that stuff. See, you don't never know, because I think these are just some weird people. And I just think they didn't want a lot of stuff. Somebody allegedly said she was a very neat person. She kept a really clean house. So maybe she felt like she didn't want a lot of stuff outside her house. She didn't think to go buy nothing extra. Because like we said, we already know that they were broke. Because they couldn't even afford the loan. They couldn't afford no money. Allegedly, some woman loaned them money, so they didn't have no money. So like I said, if you're coming from an apartment, you wouldn't have no lot of toys and big stuff because you lived in an apartment. That stuff wouldn't fit in an apartment. Well, HD, that's from a long time ago. That's from when he was with the biological mother, when the femur was broke. That's why the child was taken out of custody. She was at work, allegedly. Somebody was keeping the child, and the child's leg got broke. The child was acting peculiar. She took the child to the emergency room, and that's the end of that story. That's how the child ended up in CPS custody. No. The child leg was broke before. For those who do not know in the chat, that is why the mother lost custody of her child allegedly. Yes. Because they keep bringing that up, and they keep bringing that up to the chief, and I don't know why. Y'all out there on the ground in California and you don't know that the child leg was broke before he even went into CPS custody. That girl, when she mentioned the gossip to the chief, the first interview, I thought, y'all know everything else, but y'all don't know to tell that, hey, the leg was broke beforehand. I think someone adopted them and gave them to them, and then they shared the money. They don't seem like adopted parents at all. Like, who was the top dog? I don't know. I have no idea. You think somebody adopted them and gave them to them? Honey, I don't know. Queen, I don't know. This is why the chief and the other YouTuber, Mr. Duty Ron, has told people, you have got to stop listening to this stuff out here. Because, see, this is why everybody thinks they know everything about these people and Ron Dean and this and that, when really you don't know anything. You don't know nothing. I don't care what somebody said. If you ain't got no receipt, you just listen to somebody spin a record. Yeah, it was hoarding the children. We don't know what happened. We don't really even know what happened with Ron Dean and those kids and what allegations was going on beforehand. See, we don't know anything. Hey, Marshall. Marshall done got up. Hypothetically, you know damn well them phones are trapped. I'm trying to tell y'all the police know what they doing. Y'all act like it's just Cal City involved. No, boo-boo, you got the FBI. And the FBI has more resources than Cal City and Bakersfield. How you doing, A. Miller? So, FBI know what they doing. No, we're not going to keep you in protective custody. We want you to roam because we know you're going to mess up when you get out here. We're going to give you your phone back because we know you're going to get to talking on that telephone. They know exactly what they're doing. Hello, Christine. Thank you so much from Kenya. The FBI know what they're doing. Okay? Right. We have to remain patient because somebody going to start talking. Somebody going to start getting in that phone and that DM and start asking people stuff and saying stuff to folks. what you say? Don't say none of them. Don't da 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 da. They probably already done that already. You know they've done that already. And then you got to go and get more phones to talk on so you don't get your phones traced. It's a big mess. And when you live in the life that they're living, you are going to be talking to somebody about something. You are just not going to be able to keep quiet. There's just no way. You think you're going to try to be quiet, but you're going to slip up at some point. Well, and they will. What I think is interesting is it true that they're staying in that old apartment complex with the mother or somebody? I can't believe that. I can't believe a landlord would even allow that. That's just buffoonery to me. That's what I'm saying. I can't believe they're back at that same apartment complex. That is just baffling to me. And yes, they did go back to the older apartments. That was mentioned also by the chief. That has also been mentioned. The chief mentioned that those old addresses have been searched, so there's no telling what they've gone in the old apartments and dug up. They could have cut up carpet. They could have took patches from the walls. I don't know. But that is what they do when they go to old addresses. They get a warrant. They talk to the landlord. And then they go in and start hammering and debunking stuff out. And you know what they do. The aunt's work, they said, for the property management on another video. Well, like I said, they all might be in cahoots together. The landlord, all of them. In the end, it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. The ball's going to drop. I wouldn't have gone back there. I would have tried to find somewhere else to live. I wouldn't have gone back to that apartment complex. Plus a new van with those stupid false lashes. Oh, I saw that today. Yeah, I saw that. With the fake lashes. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that yesterday. That was real cute, wasn't it? The little van. What I find interesting is this. Why would you go get a van? You don't have no children. And 9 times out of 10, you're not about to get your kids back. So y'all should have went and got a little Honda. Because there's nothing to do out there in that desert. Because they're in Bakersfield where they got a little more going on. But you understand what I'm saying. Y'all should have went and got y'all a little Nissan or a Honda and save on the gas. I don't see why they would go buy a van. And how you going to pay for it? You don't got no job. I'll wait. These are some strange ducks, honey. These are some very strange ducks. Marshall, I'm telling you. Yeah, entrepreneur. They up to something. They've been doing stuff. And the fact he took his music down allegedly, some of you all on YouTube been talking about that. I don't know, baby. I didn't look at it. But the thing that's so crazy is, yeah, I saw that, Alicia. The thing that's crazy is, why would you take your music down and your YouTube videos down? You don't have any money. You don't work anywhere. So if you're monetized on YouTube, that's a few little coins or cents in your bank account that you don't have. Are you following me? So why would you take down anything that could generate money? That's very strange to me. But that lets me know Trezell has a guilty conscience because you are now starting to tell on yourself. You're taking all this music down off of whatever it is, Spotify, whatever it is. You mad because people have been talking about you on YouTube and saying that your beats are whack. So now you're feeling some type of way. You offended it. I don't know, baby. I don't know about the real estate business. I don't know. I have no idea. So when you took down your music, your YouTube videos, you let the world know that you're insecure and you upset that these people on social media are talking bad about you. So that's why I said the house of cards are starting to fall. Just sit back and watch. Get your bag of popcorn. Get your glass of wine. Or whatever your taste is for a drink. And watch the cards fall down. Because he's already telling that he feels some type of way. Y'all talking about him on YouTube. He's tired of y'all talking about him and his little dusty wife. So now, I'll take all my stuff down. He's going to say it was an accident. Well, Oh well. Once they see something, find something. Well, like I said, it's only a matter of time. They need not watch my channel because I don't play nice over here. I think most of you who follow the queen know I don't play nice over here. Big pimp and rapper fella with all that foster money and EBT. What, girl? What you talking about? Oh, queen, you're a mess. My death penalty gonna be an accident too. Look, he better hope they don't bring back sitting in that chair and strap them leather straps around your wrists and your ankles. Because they say that's a terrible death, the electric chair. They being kind to you by giving you a needle to the arm. That's a civil way of killing you. But the electric chair was no joke. You fry in that chair, literally. Oh, all of them need to go. Him, her, Scott Peterson, all of them. Line them up. Just line them up. Hi, EDT. How you doing? I just keeps it real. These are some heinous people, and they're walking around. And just like I was thinking too before I jumped on, when you watch the comments in the comment box on YouTube and you see some of these nasty comments that some of you all make, you really allude to the fact that you think just like Trezell and Jacqueline. I done caught one of you in here. You on the same level as they are. With your little snide remarks, your little sinister remarks about giving kids Benadryl and they won't act right. So basically you're saying, well, go and kill them. They ain't acting right. Go and beat them to death. See, you just like them. That's why I keep trying to tell you all. When you start looking at these little comments that people make, they're letting you know they think just like these people. And it's only a matter of time. They'll be right up here in the news alongside Trezell and Jacqueline. Because there are a lot of people out here who have the same mindset. And I done caught one in here yesterday. And what you don't know is, you to me just as damn grimy. You're grimy. And there's a whole lot of you out there grimy. And you have the mindset of a killer. You have the mindset of a killer. Well, Raquel, I'm just saying, I personally wouldn't live around there. That's just me. I wouldn't want people in my business. I wouldn't want people spying on me, watching me when I come and go in my car. I would go to a town over somewhere, and I would just lay low, try to find some way to live, make money, and just wait to see if they're going to file charges against me. But I wouldn't be in Bakersfield living, nor would I be in Cal City. Frankly, they could have stayed in Cal City. You know, I feel like this. If you bold enough to kill a kid, why are you worrying about somebody coming over here bothering you? I'm just saying. Go live your life. I mean, that's what you've been doing all this time, milking the system. You've been stealing all these folks' money, hoarding these children in foster care. So why worry about what everybody think? All you have to do was go get a surveillance camera put on your house, ADT. You could have built the gate around your house like the neighbor across the street, and you can go in and out your property as you see fit. Get on about your life. They still haven't searched for them because they know where they hid them. Well, the point is you're supposed to pretend like you're concerned. You know where they are, but you still should play the role as if you're a concerned parent. But we know that they're not concerned because, as I state, you gave an old photo to the police pertaining to your children. You never went out to search for your children. You gave a whack-ass interview to the news. You've never spoke to the news again. Now you've lowered up, allegedly. Now you've left your house. You've cowered out. But it's no different than what you did to those kids. Because if you killed those kids, that was a cowardly act. If you sold the children, that was a cowardly act. If you gave the kids to somebody, that was a cowardly act. Yeah, I watched Duty Ron. I did. I watched him last night. Yeah. I like his panel. I like him and Mr. Bill. They give some good information. I prefer to listen to a cop talk, a detective, because a detective has studied. They've taken the detective's exam. They've worked homicide and missing case. They've done more work to where they can gain insight on cases such as this. Random people just talking. You can listen, but it's still not the same. Yeah, no more super chat. Thank you. No super chat. I got 84 in the room, 41 thumbs up. Thanks for joining me. No super chats anymore. Please, if you want to donate to the channel, Cash App, Big Angie 129. Thank you so much. This is just baffling. This case is baffling. I think the chief knows more. I can tell he knows a whole lot more. He just can't say anything. I don't know. I don't know if they went in the park or not. I can't remember, honey. I start losing sight to this stuff that they do. Oh, my Buddha in the back? Yes! I've had that a long time. My cousin bought that for me when I moved into this apartment years ago. That's back in summer '09. And she said, pick you something out. And I got that from Burlington. That's when Burlington was Burlington Coat Factory. And she let me pick that out. It was a housewarming gift. So I've had it a long time. Mighty long time. But this is sickening. Very sickening. And the scary part is that, as I state, these people are walking around looking at other people, lurking at other people, pretending to be human. And there's other people just like them out here walking around pretending to like children, care for children, pretend to be a good neighbor, but they're not. They're just as sinister. And as I told you all in my last live this morning, you have to weed these people out because you don't know people. Thanks, love from Texas. Baffling is a good choice of word. Yeah, that's one of my favorite words. If you follow the queen long enough, you will start using some of my slang / terminology. Baffling is one of my favorite words. Buffoon is one of my favorite words. Pookie and Ray Ray and Susie May are my other favorite words. That's what I say about crazy people. Pookie, Ray Ray, and Susie May. And you got all of that in this story right here. Oh, and stay woke. Yes, thank you, Raquel. You remember. I was telling you all to stay woke. Stay woke. Because some of you ain't woke out there. Oh, my goodness. But I thank you all for joining me. I'm almost at the top of the hour. I didn't want to stay on long because I wanted to bring you another live. I can't keep up. I'm starting to forget some of the stuff pertaining to this case because I watch so much on YouTube, other content holder stuff. I'm starting to get just like befuddled with all this stuff. Numb nuts. I ain't never used numb nuts. I may say dimwits. And you know I love to use crazy bat, alley bat. Oh, I'll call you alley bat in a minute. Well, Life with Mercy, we already have established in our minds that it is not about wanting the children. I know some of you may not be able to understand that. Let me talk one-on-one to you personally. I hate to get gutter grimy in the wee hour because this is the witching hour. But let me explain this to some people because everybody hasn't lived a certain type of life. Thank you. There are people who hustle for a living. They don't know anything but coming up. They don't know anything about doing right. And as I state, we all flawed. We all make mistakes. And these two here decided that they did not want to work for a living. So they chose fostering children as a way to come up. Adopting children as a way to come up. They also learned that if a child has special needs, they would get more money. They knew all that. And I brought you all that information days ago. So this is their hustle. And a lot of people are like them. Some people may not hustle in foster care children. Some people may sell drugs. Some people may steal people's identities. Are you following me? There's all kind of ways to make money. Some people may pick up cans. Some people may pick up aluminum, take to the recycling place. Are you following me? Some people are professional thieves. Some people rob houses. Some people rob people. This was their hustle. This is the way they have chosen to live. And I honestly, firmly believe that this was Trezelle and Jacqueline's way of coming up. And I also believe her mother also has joined the bandwagon with adopting children as well. So now we're talking about a family affair. Yes, it's all about the money. And this is their way of living. Right. The AB has the highest concentration of foster care. State pay real good. Well, I brought you the difference between New York and California because I just brought you a case of kids being in foster care, stolen out of foster care the other day by the father, allegedly. And it only goes up to $709 for foster care in the state of New York versus $2,060-something up in California. So it's a major difference. In New York, city is an expensive place to live. Now, what it costs to live in other parts of New York State, I don't know. But nonetheless, bigger cities, bigger places, they just cost more to live. California is do or die. Now, we know that poor people live in California, but hell, they're probably, barely living. They're probably barely living. And that's why so many people have left California, because they like it. It's beautiful, but they can't afford to stay there. And every person that I ever met from California did not want to leave California. They just left because they couldn't make it there. And there are a lot of people that live in this state in Tennessee from California. This state has people from all over the world. People come here to retire. This is a retirement state where I live in Tennessee. I'm from Navy, and anybody that has clean record, get them. Well, see, that's why we don't know really much about that situation with her and the criminal record, when she got it, because I don't know when she got the criminal record. Somebody put in the chat the other day, she got one on 12/2/2020. So that's another question as well. Does the state do periodic background checks while the children are in their custody for foster care and adoption? It's also been relayed that children still the parents get a stipend for adopting the children. May not be as much, but they get a little bit of pay. And I don't know what that little bit of pay is. Well, Hearts do, that aerial view of that neighborhood looks like a war zone to me, because I'm not used to looking at sand all day. If I was to look at sand, I prefer it to be with water. That's just pure sandy dust out there with no water. And it's weird looking to me. It's sparse and it's just spooky. And when I saw it a week ago, I was like, I just get a bad feeling looking at all this space out here, these vacant lots next door to the houses. I'm never used to seeing that. When you go in LA County, and you watch, HGTV, you see all these houses, they're stacked on top of each other. I mean, house for house for house for house. And these houses are expensive. You know what I'm saying? They're like $600,000-$700,000. Little row houses that you can get for probably $239,000 here in Tennessee. But they're $500,000 and more in California. Yeah. California is cheating you all out of houses, because those houses are not worth the money. I'm sorry. I don't care. Still just wood and nails. Just wood and nails. And a little patch of grass in the front, a little patch of grass in the back. And you're paying almost $500,000 or more for a little house. And your house is right close to somebody else. But that's how they do things in California. Everywhere is different. But you're not getting nothing. Okay, lots of trailers and modular homes too. Okay. Well, what I'm saying is just the view I saw of the Google views and the area views of that neighborhood. It's desert. It just looks horrible to me. I'm sorry. I wouldn't want to live nowhere that's underdeveloped. Now, could I live in California? Yes, Lord. I've always wanted to go there. But I couldn't do that. I got to see some trees. I got to see some grass. That desert life, I don't know if that'd be right for me. Now, for my sinuses, yes, it is recommended that people who have acute sinusitis live in like Arizona, the desert, because it's supposed to help with our sinuses. But I still wouldn't want to do that. I got to see some trees. That's why I stay. That's why y'all see me sniffling when I'm on live. My nose is always running, stopped up and stuff because the allergies here in East Tennessee are horrible. And people come here from all over the world who never had a sinus problem until they moved here. But I've got 80 in the room, 48 thumbs up. Thanks for following the queen. Thanks for joining me. I'm 1 hour in. Oh, yes, yes. That's right, queen. You in Tennessee. You right up the road from me. You right up the road from me. Music City. This is a terrible story. I'm praying that the end's going to come soon because I know a lot of you have gotten frustrated in your conversations with me. I know Cherie's frustrated because, you know, Cherie's in the chat. Her daughter went missing out of California City many years ago. She's been missing now 9 years, January 7th. And hopefully this new detective that the chief has hired will work on Cherie's daughter's cold case and other cold cases out of California City and missing persons cases and murder cases. And, you know, 8's enough out of a place of 14,000. So I'm praying for a resolution. I'm just praying for a resolution, you know, to those missing persons and those who have been murdered. My numbers go up and down. Mountains. They sure ain't getting nothing. You get a good investigation. Regular citizens have to do all the search and investing, all that damn where the money go. Well, Raquel, you only have 13 people working in Cal City. He just told you that in the interview. He only has 13 people sworn in. Hello, Cherie. Cherie, I figured you was in here listening still. Cherie's in the chat, waiting on her interview to upload with AV Watchman. And you make sure you go to that chief of police and have a sit down with him and let him know your concern. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all, you got to go put your foot down sometimes. Sometimes you got to rattle the cage to get things done, because if there's nobody willing to do the work for you, you got to do it yourself. You got to say, hey, I want my voice heard. I am somebody. My child was somebody. And that's what you have to do. Yeah. She gets some peace. Cherie ain't been feeling too good lately. So y'all pray for Cherie. And I'm sure it doesn't help wanting answers to your missing child, and then you're sitting here looking at 2 other little children missing out of the same city and wondering what the hell's going on with those kids. And now it's a month in. We don't have nothing new pertaining to those kids. It's just a bad situation. Well, Cherie, he gonna get used to seeing your face, because your face gonna be in his face. The chief thought he had them 2 little interviews. He gonna have him another homegirl in his face. You look, as we say, you gotta get in his pocket, baby. Or get on his hip. Let him know. Sorry about that. Yeah, I started buffering. You know how that goes. I'm an hour in. I got 73 in. I would like to bring you all another story. I love Texas, but I love to move to Georgia. Oh, Georgia. I want to go. That is where I want to go. Now, Cherie, don't show out. I don't want to see you on the news trying to beat up the chief of police. Be nice now. Play nice. I don't want to hear you was on the news beating up the chief of police. Lord have mercy. That'd just be bad. Because I don't know what is the jail like out there in California City. It can't be nice either, considering they ain't got but 13 people working on the force. Yeah, where's the jail out there? They have a county jail? Wow. Maybe a beating is what he needs. Honey Tejas, that's not nice. Look, we don't want y'all beating up the chief now, because we got a case. We got a case that needs solving out there. 2 missing boys plus the other 8 people that's missing and been murdered. So we don't want nobody beat up. Please don't beat the chief up. They take you to Bakersfield. Sharice, man, you so crazy. God. Cal City got a prison. That's the biggest thing they got going. Really? I hadn't heard anything about that. Interesting. I hadn't heard anything about a prison. It's very, very odd. Well, you guys, I'm getting ready to jump off of here because, like I told you, I wanted to keep the live short. I want to bring you another story. Oh, it's a federal prison. Okay. That's weird because I hadn't heard anything about a prison. Since they've been talking about these missing children, I hadn't heard anything about a prison at all. So that's very interesting. But I want to keep this live down to a minimum because it is the witching hour, and I know some of you probably need to go to bed. But I'm getting ready to jump back on as soon as I upload this video to YouTube land, and I'm getting ready to bring you a head knocker out of Louisiana. So if you want to hang in there with me on live number 2, you are welcome to do so. I'm coming back on, Raquel. I'm just getting ready to unload this video, upload this video to YouTube, and then I'm jumping back on with another story that I told you guys I promised that I would bring you because I didn't want to mix the storylines in together because you can only type so many letters in on the title. So I don't want to, Queen said I'm going to get some snacks. Y'all going to be fat like me. Y'all keep eating late. Look, for this next story, for the 76 that's in the room, 52 thumbs up, what I'm about to bring you is really bad. So you might want to go get a drink because you are not going to want to listen to what I have to say. No, baby, you're going to need more than some sunflower seeds. You going to need a candy bar, a thing of liquor, and maybe an oxygen tank, because I'm getting ready to bring it to you here in a second. What I'm about to bring you is really horrific. And I wanted to hurry up and get this story out here so everybody can hear about it and know what's going on. And I really want you to be honest with the information I'm about to bring to you. So, before I jump off, I'm getting ready to give you 1 minute of the story. And I want you to go Google the story before I jump back on. And that way you can get your mind rolling about what I'm getting ready to talk about. And you already have something in your mind to say to me when I jump back on. Because I don't want you trying to figure the story out while I'm live. And then you trying to switch over on your screen and try to pull it up to see what's going on. This is the next video I'm about to bring to you in the next few minutes. An African-American woman who was a school teacher was having an affair with a black man down in Louisiana. He was the assistant principal at the school. Somewhere down the line, she believes she got pregnant by him. On this fateful night, she met him in her car with her 3-year-old, I believe, at the Walmart. We do not know what happened thereafter, but she was later missing. They could not find her or her body. But her car was found first with her 3-year-old in the car. And the baby was wandering around in the parking lot with blood on her feet. Where is the mother? Days later, her body is found in a ditch. And that comes this case that's been going on since 2016. And he now is trying to allegedly get a lawyer to fight for him. And the reason why this trial has taken so long to come forward is because they can't decide where she was murdered, which jurisdiction, which parish. So that's why this case has not got on the docket. And I want you to now go Google the story, tell me what you think, and I'm coming back on. Oh God, I can't remember. Dang, I don't know if her last name was Johnson. Mintel Johnson, something like that. Just pull up assistant principal, kill school teacher. It'll pull up. I'm logging out of here. I'm coming back on. Join me for the next live. 75 in the room, 56 thumbs up. Thank you all so much. If you want to donate to the channel, please donate to Cash App, $ Big Angie 129. Thanks for the support. I'm coming back on with live number 2.